What up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video to help you successfully pass the CompTIA 220 1001 examination. So let's get into it. In this video, you are going to learn about common mobile device issues. All right, let's talk about some common symptoms. So the first one is no display. So no display on a laptop could be caused by a variety of issues such as failure of the LCD inverter or backlight, damaged cables connecting to the LCD inverter, failure of LED control boards, display panel failures, onboard display, critical failures, laptop being toggled to use an external display with a function key. Now, to fix some of these issues, what you will need to do is just try toggling the laptop to use an internal display. Try connecting it to a monitor or a projector. If the external display works, then the issue may be with the LCD CCFL backlight on the LED control board or the actual LED backlight. If the external display doesn't work, then the motherboard may need to be repaired or replaced. If a tablet or smartphone has no display issues, it is usually due to the unit being out of power. So to fix this, you want to connect it to a charger, wait about 10 minutes and then power it back on. If there is still no display, then the device needs to be serviced or replaced. What if you have a dim display? So to fix the dim display issues, you need to check the brightness settings of the device, check the auto power management settings of the device, make sure the ambient light sensor is working and is not being blocked, check the battery level to see if the mobile device is about to run out of power. And if it is, you got to understand that most devices dim the screen in order to preserve the last bit of battery left on the devices before they shut down. After you recharge the device, if the device does not return to its normal brightness, you may need to service the device or just simply replace it. Also, dim displays not caused by user settings. This is usually attributed to the backlight inverter failing on the device. So if this is the case, you will have to service or replace that device as well. What if you have a flickering display on your mobile device? So flickering displays on laptops with the LCD CCFL backlight. This is primarily due to a dying backlight. Damaged LCD ribbon cables connected to the motherboard. They could also be a reason for flickering display issues. The solution to fixing it is to simply replace the entire screen assembly for a new one. What if you have sticking keys? So fixing sticky keys, you can find online vendors who offer individual key replacements for laptops. If your keyboard has multiple sticking keys, it is oftentimes cheaper to simply replace the entire keyboard unit. Intermittent wireless issues. So if the mobile device is experiencing intermittent Wi-Fi due to weak Wi-Fi signals, if the device has a cellular data connection, you need to switch to the cellular data until a stronger Wi-Fi signal becomes available. Also, you can use wireless signal strength indicators that can help you locate strong Wi-Fi signals. What if your battery is not charging? So to fix a battery that is not charging on a mobile device, you need to make sure that the charger is the proper charger for the tablet or smartphone. You need to make sure that the charging port on the device is clean and doesn't have dirt, dust, or other debris inside of it. If the charger has a toggle for an iOS and non-iOS devices, you need to choose the correct setting for your device. You need to make sure that the USB port on the laptop or desktop computer is enabled for USB fast charging. If that option is available, then use that port for charging your device. You also need to check to make sure your charging cables are not damaged and actually work. If they don't work, you need to replace the cables, you need to replace the battery or have the device serviced. If the working cable does not solve the issue, you need to make sure that the battery is properly installed. You need to clean dirt and corrosion on the battery and laptop battery contacts. And if the battery is hot after being charged or has a warped exterior, you need to replace it. What if you have a ghost cursor or pointer drift? So moving the mouse too fast on the screen can cause what is called a ghost cursor. So to fix this issue, you will want to adjust the mouse properties to slow down the acceleration of the mouse. You will want to use a larger mouse pointer. You want to enable visibility options such as pointer trails. And then you will want to press the control key to display the actual mouse's location. Accidentally swiping, pressing on the device's touchpad, or issues with a device's integrated pointing stick. This can also cause issues known as pointer drift problems. To fix this issue, you will need to disable the touchpad or change its sensitivity settings to ignore accidental touches. What if your device has no power? So if a laptop has no power, you need to verify that the battery is not the issue. You need to make sure that the laptop is plugged into a working AC outlet. You need to make sure that the AC power cord running from the AC outlet to the external AC adapter, also known as the power brick, is plugged in completely to the outlet and adapter. And if the power cord is damaged, you need to replace it. What if you have the num lock indicator light? So the num lock indicator lights not turning on, this could signal that there may be a problem with the keyboard. If so, just simply swap out the keyboard. What if you have no wireless connectivity? So to fix this, you need to check the laptop for push button, pressure sensitive touch buttons, or the function key to enable or disable the Wi-Fi. You need to make sure that airplane mode is turned off. You need to check to make sure that Wi-Fi and cellular radios are turned on. Check the Wi-Fi connection signal in your area. If you're having Wi-Fi issues on a laptop, you need to open the access panels to check to make sure that the Wi-Fi antennas are properly connected to the Wi-Fi card. What if you have no Bluetooth connectivity? So to fix Bluetooth connectivity issues on a laptop, you need to press the Bluetooth button or the function key combo to enable the connection. You need to verify that the Bluetooth adapter is installed and enabled. If the Bluetooth adapter is installed, you need to use the Bluetooth configuration utility provided by the computer vendor to set up the adapter to connect to other devices. If the adapter is already set up to connect to other devices, check the Bluetooth settings on those devices and then check to see if airplane mode is turned on. If it is turned on, turn airplane mode off. What if you cannot display to an external monitor? So to fix issues with displaying to an external monitor, you need to use the appropriate keyboard function key combination after connecting the display or projector. You need to check the cabling between the computer and the external display. You need to make sure that the display is set to the correct input. And then you need to try different displays to determine if the problem is the mobile device or the actual external monitor. What about touchscreen non-responsiveness? So dust, dirt, and grease on the surface of the touchscreen. This is the most common reason for why a touchscreen is non-responsive. So to fix this, you need to use anti-static wipes or spray that are designed for touchscreens to clean it. You need to use a stylus made for the touchscreen. If the stylus does not work, you need to power it off, power back on the device. And if the stylus is still not working, then you might need to service the device or replace it. Apps not loading. So to solve problems with applications not loading, you need to check the available storage space and then uninstall apps that you never use. Close apps that you are not actively using to free up RAM. And for web-enabled apps, you need to make sure that you have a good internet connection. Slow performance issues. So to fix slow performance, remove the case and close apps to help cool the device. Check the power management settings, close apps that are running but are not in use, and then close apps before charging the phone. What if you are unable to decrypt email? So missing or out-of-date security certificates on devices can cause issues with decrypting email. So you need to update your security certificates to resolve this problem. So issues with extremely short battery life could be caused by the following. So you don't want to overcharge a device's battery. You don't want to wait until the device is almost out of power to charge it. You need to adjust the screen brightness to the lowest comfortable levels. On an iOS device, you want to turn off the background app refresh. You need to update to the latest operating system or operating system updates available for your device. Use a phone battery helper app that can help manage the charging. Close apps from the iOS app switcher. Shut down an iOS device weekly with the slider switch. And then also keep in mind that extreme cold can drain a battery. So be sure to take weather conditions into consideration. Overheating. So mobile device overheating, this can cause several issues. So you need to make sure that the intake and exhaust fan ports on laptops are not being blocked during use. When running off of battery power, you need to adjust the power settings. You need to make sure the CPU power management drivers are installed. On a tablet or smartphone, you need to shut down unnecessary apps. And some protective cases, they can cause smartphones to overheat. So keep that in mind as well. Frozen systems. So malfunctioning apps typically are responsible for frozen systems. So to fix this, you need to go to the lock screen for a few seconds to help the mobile app start responding. If that does not work, you need to shut down the system, then restart it. Check for updates for the app and the device. If you have no sound coming from the speakers, this can cause several issues. You need to check the volume or mute controls on the laptop or the mobile device. If you're using Bluetooth speakers, you need to make sure that the Bluetooth is turned on, and then check the device pairing. With wired speakers, the case might prevent the 3.5mm mini jack connector from making a good connection. It may be necessary to remove the case so that you can establish a good connection. So if the GPS is not working, you need to make sure that the airplane mode is turned off. Airplane mode will disable the GPS, so just simply turn on the GPS in the settings, locations, menu. You have a swollen battery, so overcharging is typically responsible for a battery being swollen. In addition to replacing the battery, check the AC adapter to make sure that it is putting out the correct voltage. All right, let's talk about the disassembling process for proper reassembly. So first thing you need to do, you need to document and label the cables and the screw location. So laptop and smartphones typically have a lot of screws of varying sizes. You need to make sure to properly document and label the cables, annotate its size and screw locations. And you can use a digital camera or a smartphone as a tool that can help you with the documentation process. You want to organize the parts. So ways that you can organize the parts is you can use a plastic divided compartment tray from a hardware store to keep the screws and bolts organized. You can place the static sensitive materials such as the CPU, the RAM, etc. into anti-static bags. You want to use anti-static bubble wrap for larger components such as motherboards. And you want to use boxes to protect the case and the trim components. You want to refer to the manufacturer resources before you begin disassembling a device. So get the manufacturer's service number if that is available. Check the underside of a laptop or tablet to find the service or catalog number. Be mindful, we're not talking about the marketing model number. And let's talk about using appropriate hand tools. So always use appropriate hand tools for disassembling mobile devices. They are smaller and they are different in other ways from those needed from a desktop computer. And to find these, just simply go online, type in mobile phone toolkit, and a plethora of options will pop up for you to pick from. All right. So in summary, we have talked about common mobile device issues. Now, if you felt like you have gotten something valuable from this information, go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, drop a comment, but most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Also, go visit my website, Technology G, so that you can get read up on the latest and greatest to help you successfully pass the CompTIA 220-1001 examination. And until next video, ladies and gentlemen, peace.